Let me bring y'all a crazy story that's now unfolding its final stages. Following 7 years and 2 mistrials, Antonio A.J. Armstrong Jr., a resident of Houston, was found guilty of killing his parents as they slept in their townhome situated in the Bel Air area. On Wednesday, a jury in Harris County delivered a guilty verdict after 11 days of witness testimonies and arguments presented by both Armstrong Jr.'s defense attorneys and the prosecutors from the Harris County District Attorney's Office. This well-known case had extended over several years due to the inability of 2 earlier juries to come to an agreement on a verdict in 2019 and 2022. At the age of 16, Armstrong Jr., who is now 23, was involved in a tragic incident in which his parents, Dawn and Antonio Armstrong Sr., were fatally shot on the early morning of July 29, 2016. Following his conviction for using his father's .22 caliber pistol to shoot them in the head, the young Armstrong faces a life prison sentence with the possibility of parole after 40 years. The third trial for capital murder in this case experienced an almost 2-month delay due to the emergence of previously undiscovered DNA evidence brought to light by an expert witness for the prosecution. This newly revealed evidence comprised specks of blood found beneath the adhesive name tag that had been affixed to Armstrong Jr.'s clothing when he was taken to the police station for questioning following the murders. Subsequent testing confirmed that the DNA matched that of Armstrong Sr. This fresh evidence had the potential to impact the prosecution's case significantly. It also contradicted a defense team's theory that suggested Armstrong Jr.'s older half-brother might have committed the murders due to his proximity to the crime scene and his history of mental health issues. The legal team representing Armstrong Jr. asserted that law enforcement officials had not adequately interrogated his elder sibling. The defense contended that Josh, the older brother, grappled with paranoia and schizophrenia, and they put forth the assertion that these mental health challenges might have driven him to commit the act in question. Quote, "We looked at multiple records throughout all different types of institutions relating to Josh and his delusional states, believing he was either God or the devil," defense attorney Chris Collins stated during closing arguments Tuesday. "We know that he had command voices in his head that told him to harm himself or others," he also states. Nonetheless, the prosecution countered by asserting that Josh's mental state deteriorated only subsequent to his parents' demise, and they dedicated considerable effort to examining the alarm system installed in the family's residence. Prosecutors said the system was equipped with motion sensors that logged timestamps when motion was detected throughout the house. Using these timestamps, prosecutors presented the assertion that the individual responsible for the crime emerged from within the confines of the residence. They supported this claim by highlighting the specific placement of the murder weapon, which they maintained had been intentionally left on a kitchen table situated on the ground floor, approximately 30 minutes prior to Armstrong's call for police assistance. Quote, "The killer did not come from the first floor of the house, he came from the second or the third floor, or else the first floor motion sensor would have caught him," prosecutor Ryan Trask said. "The alarm records and Armstrong's cell phone activity tells us he was awake the entire time. What was he doing for 31 minutes? On the morning when his parents were shot, Armstrong Jr. made a 911 call indicating he had taken refuge in a closet located on the 3rd floor of his bedroom. He reported hearing gunshots emanating from his parents' second-floor bedroom within their residence. This information was detailed in a probable cause affidavit that was filed in Harris County Court. Responding officers' investigation yielded no indications of forced entry, nor any visible entry or exit points left open in the home, leading them to consider that the perpetrator was likely already inside the house when the murders occurred. Notably, Armstrong Jr.'s younger sister was also present in the home at that time. The firearm employed in the act was discovered atop a kitchen table on the 1st floor. It was accompanied by a handwritten note bearing the message, "I have been watching for a long time. Get me." Court records indicate that no fingerprints or DNA were found on the weapon. Further examination by investigators revealed a bullet hole on the ceiling of the 2nd floor, aligning with a corresponding hole on the floor of Armstrong Jr.'s bedroom. This opening was concealed under a collection of socks, as evidenced by court documents. Additional court records reveal the discovery of a pillow and comforter displaying .22 caliber bullet holes within Armstrong Jr.'s closet. Prosecutors contended that these findings suggested Armstrong Jr. had practiced using his father's firearm. The initial trial in 2019 involved a jury that could not achieve a consensus after listening to more than 33 hours of testimony and deliberating for nearly 18 hours. Similarly, the second trial in 2022 involved a jury that heard over 38 hours of testimony and deliberated for more than 19 hours. In the third trial, which encompassed over 40 hours of testimony from 31 distinct witnesses, the jury reached a verdict during its second day of deliberation.
It is now the order of this court that you be sentenced to life with the possibility of parole